Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of our Disco Elysium playthrough. It is now raining, of course. The only reason I say that is last episode we had the chance to steal a raincoat. Not a very good chance, but it wasn't raining when we went in. So anyway, last episode we went down to the harbour, which is just here. We spoke to this dude up here who said to get into the harbour to speak to the union boss we would need to get past a big Seminese man. He was huge, and either we had to overpower him, which is not going to happen because strength is not one of our things, or we could agree with his supremacy ways. The Seminese were the best and blah blah blah. We're not going to do that either. I think we can get through on the rooftop where the jump that we failed before, where our jacket is. What else? We had a look at the bullet. We've realised that it comes from a fairly not so common rifle. Common back in the day, but for now, mainly antique people use them. The armour, we only need to look for one bit of armour now. Because it was better than we'll get the other people to find the rest. Turns out Kuno lied to us for some reason, and I don't... where is the rest of the armor? Yeah, Kuno lied to you, return to him and confront him. I'm not 100% sure how Kuno lied to us. But he's here, so we may as well start with him and his annoying...
Fuck, does Kuno care?
I already regret this. I talked to Manana. He was that guy sitting up on the railing about your armor. So he raised an eyebrow, projecting aggressive indifference. He said to thank you, wasn't too keen on chasing down the armor anyway. Fuck okay. Kuno's a giver like that. Yes, he looks slightly confused. Kuno sent your fat ass running around like Jello. Look, pig. He's suddenly all business. Kuno sent you to rough some people up. Kuno played you. That happened. Now you and Kuno should move on. I will remember this, Kuno. You got fucked. You got fucked, pig. Fucked bad. Of course you're going to remember this. Now get the fuck out of here, Griffin Kuno. After this shit, you better have something real interesting to say if you want to stay in Kuno's face. I don't know what that's about. That one's completely gone over my head. But we completed a task. So we don't have to talk to Kuno anymore, which in my books is a win. Now we can debrief with Kim at 10 o'clock. So let's go inside out of the rain. 21:58. We can't really talk to anyone new in here. This place isn't open. Oh, what's that? Money. It's on the floor, is it? Thank you. Times are tough, remember? We need to pay back the Garrett or Gart for the room. 100 real. We've got 8. It's alright. We're not too bad. While we're waiting for the clock to tick over, let's have a look what we're going to do tomorrow. In order to succeed, the body has to be down, autopsy has to have been, and Kim has to be absent. He wouldn't approve. This will be devilish tricky, so beat yourself, manage to send the body to processing without getting hold of the boots. Why... I feel like I'm missing some things in this game. But that's fine. We'll work our way through. So we can have a shower after we have a chat to Kim. And then I think tomorrow... Oh. So this door... just while the time's ticking down before we talk to Kim... We believe this belongs to Fritte. Yeah, we've done all this. It's like a supermarket, Fritter, with 3 T's. Let's see if Gart knows anything about it.
Can I help you?
No, Gart doesn't know anything. That's fine. Yeah, so we think it belongs to the Frite, but we still need to get inside. Interview the Wild Pines rep. Now apparently they're on the boat somewhere in the harbour. The union boss is behind the gate, which we're going to have to do the jump for. Tomorrow we should also have it. The dice maker should be ready. We should be able to get the armor serial number, and then we can do our debrief with Kim very shortly. I wonder if that's an automatic thing, or if we actually have to talk to Kim. Let's save ourselves some time. We'll start heading up towards our room. You can sleep up to our heals or your health and stuff. All right, that's fine. Year is 51. Yep, that's fine. Any money around here that I can acquire? No. Now, was this the ladies' door? I don't know what door that is. Won't worry about that one either. Come on. I'm not sure how time works in this, if it's like every minute's a minute, or every 30 seconds is a minute, or if you have to go somewhere or take a certain number of steps. Alright, well, while that's doing that, let's have a look. What items do we have? We had the bullet. Oh, I don't remember what was there, but that's fine. That's the tattoos, the mug, handwritten note from the fridge. This is the filament memory. It's that square cube we found. It's like a production of a schedule. Okay, it's 2200. Let's see if we can talk to Kim. Alright, his little speech bubble.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. The nights are still miserably cold this time of year.
I haven't paid the cafeteria manager for damages yet. You should take care of that. I don't have the money. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM should be sleeping in the street. We'll figure something out. Thank you, Kim.
Yes?
Okay, well, we won't do that. We'll talk to Gart first. We need $7 for, or 7 real for the dice tomorrow.
Can I help you?
So about the money, I was wondering if we could come some sort of arrangement for tonight. Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me? Kim is about to say something, let him. He adjusts his glasses. I understand your predicament as the manager. However, I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that also affects your business. Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more committed to drinking and... I mean, no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Hold on, I still have the key, you know. This isn't going anywhere, is it? Not until you bring me the money. Okay, he turns to you with a heavy sigh. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use when you're done here. Esther Corpse. I really didn't want to resort to this, the man is thinking. Oh, Lieutenant, we're done here. Poor Kim. I feel like Kim really has gotten the short straw in all of this. He tries. Alright, let's pay for damages. Kim has offered to help. Your parking leaves some questions there, Kim. Inside you see a lot of steering levers, a radio microphone, pull out toolbox, soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge. I have something here we could sell. Look in the back in the suspect transport enclosure. Reaction speed, the transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. Look in the suspect transport enclosure. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable. 4 shiny hubcaps are stuck against the seat. Their silver edges sparkle in the dark. I confiscated these for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down Martinez Canal. What are those things? They're spinner hubcaps, frivolous things you put on your wheels. When the wheels come to stop, he makes a spinning motion with his hand. The caps keep on spinning. There's no real use for them, it's just for vanity. Honestly, that sounds like an amazing physics demonstration. What do you mean you confiscated them? A couple of weeks ago, I stopped a young man for going slower than the speed of traffic. Turns out he was some coalition official's son, and high. You took his spinners? I took them and arrested him for driving under the influence. Isn't that corruption? I don't know, is it? The lieutenant looked back stone-faced. I was going to take them into evidence, but they weren't necessary for conviction. He never asked for them back. Did you want to put these spinners on your machine? No, that would be silly. I don't know why I kept them. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't put them on the MC anyway. A cop with spinners, that would be outrageous. Outrageously cool. He flashes a smile, barely visible in the dark. I'm sorry you have to sell them because of me. As I said, they're useless anyway. I should have remembered I have these earlier. But thank you. You said something about a pawn shop? Yes, there's one 100 meters south of here. I think it's called Roy's Nest or something. If I'm not mistaken, it should be open late. Thank you. The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners. Poor Kim. Alright. We've got the spinners. Alright, we still don't have a map. So, I'm assuming this is south. An ancient fountain, it doesn't pump water anymore. There's a tree in it. The plastic wrap macaroni stamped with a humanitarian aid. It says humanitarian aid tuna fish, not for resale. Speakers from the people of Samara. Food gift from the people of Messina. A helpline to the company that controls the drawbridge. Roy's pawn shop, fast cash for faster times. Alright. Let's have a look around. Mostly military wear with a few eccentric fashions thrown in. Rack of second-hand uniforms. Wow, a very large t-shirt with impressive print stands out from the other garb. Oh yeah? Oh yeah. The print depicts a muscled man striding towards you, a giant sword in each hand, encircled by burning emblems. Behind him a cluster of cabins engulfed in flames. Beneath him are the words, Helmdale burning. Encyclopedia. The antlers of the hood of the man's cloak, his piercing blue eyes are familiar. What's the deal with the man on the t-shirt? It's the man from Helmdale, walking away from the burning village. I'm guessing I'm supposed to know who this man from Helmdale is, but I lost my memory recently and need help remembering. Remind me, who is he? The man from Helmdale is the hero of a series of popular books based on a fictional version of Katla, mostly what is nowadays ADA and FD. In fact, most people don't think the man from Helmdale ever existed, but they are wrong. Helmdale isn't a real place. Neither is the man, a real man of course, but both the man and Helmdale are an ontological necessity. But hey, it's not worth getting into an argument about that. Wow, what? What did you mean he was real? I mean, even if the man from Helmdale didn't exist before the adventure novels, the stories have made it so that he has. It's simple, really. Okay. You sound skeptical. It's not that complicated. All that's required is a more robust understanding of cause and effect. Besides, I've been to Katla, though not quite as far north of Helmdale, and watched the northern lights travel across the sky. Very unique, energetic tides there. Conceptualization. His theory isn't exactly incoherent, but its logic does suggest some unusual neural activity. Interesting. Alright. Let's just have a quick look. A bust of a woman, the plaque DEI. Dark film projector whirling away. Some kind of machine, antique cash register. Anything else we can click on? What's in here? Knick-knack stand. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on a table. Some on horseback, others in rags, others in bright blue uniforms. All are stern and unyielding in their duty. Dig up a truly cool figurine in the box under the table. What's this? A headless man riding a horse. A headless man wearing a futuristic tracksuit trousers that says FALM. What's this? Oh, that's the headless FALN rider. Who? The headless FALN rider. It's an urban legend about a man who rides the streets of Revolche sporting an FALN tracksuit. As you can see, he's missing his head. He pointed decapitated figurine. 50 cents. Bargain price. I'll throw in the tiny cap too. I think he's looking for it or something. It's part of the story, has many interpretations. He lost his cap when he's lost his head. Perhaps he's looking for the head. We'll take it. Did I mention that the figurine is supposed to be lucky? Always carry it with you. 50 cents.
It's not often that I see officers of the RCM in my pawn shop.
The man counters turns to you slowly.
What can I do for you?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone in his projector, just watching the movement of light across the wall of the shop. It's shameful how insufficient the police presence in this part. Now that the RCM is here, tell me you have any trouble lately.
I haven't really had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about the inconsistent law enforcement.
Who are your customers usually?
All kinds of people come through here. Locals, travellers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake, people who are terminally bored. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from.
Look around. Typically Vegas communist objects. Honestly, I think some of your selection are more tasteful than others.
It keeps me entertained.
He responds unimpressed with your snobbery. Composure. He's well composed, but underneath you sense psychedelic processes bubbling. Some kind of drug, maybe. Roy is high, and if yes, then what is he on? Tutor odd brain activity, composure, no psychedelics. Feeling the warm enthralled by the movement of light, with mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Phyrodolian. It's tough to come by on the streets. What's that? A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow. Is it just me, or is it really warm in here? Sir, could you take this? I'd like to check your eyes. Why on earth? He staggers away from the glass but quickly recomposes himself. These are prescription, I can't really see without them. No judgment, I probably did loads before. I didn't mean to offend. I don't want drugs. Maybe we can sell something. Oh, the spins. Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps. Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant, inspects them. The spinners appear iridescent and dancing light of his pawn shop. He marvels at the cobalt shimmer and notes, yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some foreign prince for them? Jumper, Mersk banger? No matter, I'll give you 200 real. No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you. The Luke explains the pawn and opens up the register and counts the cash. Of course, I meant no offense. 200 real for you, officer. Delightful doing business with you. Do come again. Thank you. Here's the 100 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it. The rest goes in his pocket. Rhetoric. The rest is for him, to compensate for the pain of being separated from his radiant spinners. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Both Lieutenant. I'd like to check my pockets. What do we have to sell? Look at that postcard. How do we sell a pawn? And this other postcard we found as well. That's fine. I think the rest of it we will hang on to. That's Kim's pen. That's his handkerchief. That's a figurine we just bought. Not going to worry about that one. Close. I don't have anything else to sell. By the way, do you happen to have any guns? The one sold care about officers and militia. Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun pawned a couple of days back. This is a pawn shop and it did feel as you've met before. Oh god. What? I promptly sold her the lieutenant shifts from one fit to another. Oh, sorry, I misread that. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple of days back. Wait, I sold you my gun? You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon that revolted citizen militia. And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions, the unhealthy kind. Was a bar policeman too. She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig, which was odd. I found her interest in the gun a bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it, and of her. Truth be told, she was terrifying. Right, so let me get this right. The lieutenant turns to you. You sold your sidearm issue citizen militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets with a Martinez with it. I don't like it either. What if she intends to commit crime and blame on the citizen militia? You're right, she could cast aspersions on the force. We have to find her. Any idea where I can find this buyer? My apologies, officer, but I have no idea where she's coming from or where she went. Logic. A needle in a haystack. There's nothing you can do about it now. You'll just have to hope you luck upon her somehow. At least I know how I lost my sidearm. Let's talk about something else. Level up. Okay, cool. Aid in our investigation. Do you know anything about the recent hanging? I do my best to keep distant from men of butchery. Bad for business. He doesn't know anything. Know anything about the Wild Pines representation that's in this town? He looks off to the side, then down his hands. Can't say I'm a huge admirer of Wild Pines. I certainly wouldn't trust any silver-tongued spokesperson of theirs. Fortunately, I have no reason to get involved. Wait, what do you have against Wild Pines? What should I have for it? Have you met the Wild Pines rep? No. Just people like that make everyone else seem somewhat askew, at an angle that is convenient for them. Now you have more questions, or are we... Have I dealings with the union boss? He's been by the shop a couple of times. Composure. There's something awfully deliberate about the laziness. To discuss union business with you? He tried. Wanted to come to some mutually beneficial arrangement around my dealings with the dock workers. I politely declined to hear him out. So you don't know what kind of arrangement he was talking about? Lieutenant studied the pawnbroker suspiciously. As I said, I refused to talk to him, and that's why he came back a second time. That's also why he hasn't come back a third. Did he buy anything? He purchased a remarkably garish paperweight the first time he was here. Nothing in the second. Alright. That's fine. Okay. Level up. Hand-eye coordination was one... Well, we need that for the gun, but we don't need that anymore because we did it. For the bullet, sorry. We got 4, we got 3. Let's upgrade one of these because we've got 4 down here in Motorix, which is one that we're focusing on. Let's have a look. Conceptualization. I think... Art cop. Drama. If they lie, you'll know it immediately. Let's do drama. Yeah. That way... Track down your gun. That's fine. We'll do drama. I think we'll need to start expanding into the other ones at some point. But I think for now... Let's get... Can you put more skilled? Drug raise learning cats, but they're bad for your health. Okay. I think we'll get one of each of those. Oop. What are these? Fingerless gloves. Electrochemistry. I don't have any gloves on at the moment. I may as well... Put those on. There we go. One to interfacing. Yeah, we'll get one in each of those here. So one there, because Conceptualization Encyclopedia. So 4 more levels, and then we'll spread out in some of the other. I don't expect to put one in each individual one, obviously, but I think it's good to spread out those a little bit as well. Volition is for morale. All right, let's go pay Gart. Good.
Can I help you?
About the money I owe you, I have your money. Sorry for the trouble. Great, thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services random. If you continue to stay here, I just ask that you please pay your nightly bill in advance starting tomorrow. I'll unlock the electronic lock on to your room. He taps his foot against the metal box installed in the back of his bar account. All the doors lock automatically at 9. Find the money to pay up. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow. 20 real per night. Kim, he'll take a room here too. Of course, he takes the money and hands him a keyring. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests. Anything else I can do for you? No, thank you, Gart. Alright, Kim, let's have a chat. We're going to do our nightly debrief. Alright, we have to pay him 20 per night. That should be manageable.
Yes?
Tell me about the case again. How do we do... how do we do our debrief? Let's go up to our rooms, maybe. Whoop, hang on. What was that? No, I'm not singing. Don't forget to click on orbs around your head. They have surprises. Okay. Electrochemistry. You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up. No. Am I a smoker? Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma. You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at the juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette. Still smoldering, but she broke it at the filter. I can't smoke that. How very astute of you. It renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, entire pack. I should not do that. I should yes, sir. I'll think about it. Good. Thinking about... Cigarettes are just going to cost me more money. I already have to pay 20 real to Gart every night. Good thinking about yummy cigarettes in your mouth. Next best thing. Make sure you think about juicy sticks of tobacco all the time. And when you're done thinking about them, graduate to getting them. No.
Yes?
Let's go with the preliminary. No. Yeah, that's fine. We know all this. Why didn't we know anything about the caller? They didn't identify themselves. Yep. What do you say? It's a mysterious case. The lieutenant considers your question. No, it's not particularly. Why not? Lieutenant shrugs. Percy. Wondering how to do our debrief. I don't want to smoke. Yeah. Join him in the Whirling Red balcony after 2200 when you're calling it a day. Okay. Let's go out to the balcony. Yeah. Sorry. I've just banged the microphone. Sorry.
Yes?
Is this not where I need to be? No? Is this the right balcony? I think so. It's the only balcony I know of. Up. This is the room. This is the door to the room you drew. Good night, Lieutenant.
Just a moment. You had some questions earlier, I believe. And besides, we should discuss our progress on the investigation. Let's go out to the balcony.
Oh, okay, yeah. Never mind. The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the traffic hum.
Where
Then,
shall we begin? We should talk about the investigation, first and foremost. But I also remember you wanting to discuss the RCM?
I didn't know you smoked, Kim. I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes. It's something of a ritual. Electrochemistry. Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette. How did you get so cool, Kim? The light of his cigarette illuminates a fleeting smile. You mean this? He flicks the ashes. This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will, and unhealthy. Volition, keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself, takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to simply quit. Composure. Yet, were he to quit, he would lose the cool factor. This man relishes his cool quite a bit. Below it all. Right then, let's go to the debrief. How do you think today went? We performed a thorough initial inspection of the victim's body, so that's good. One could say it's the main thing to do in a murder. Then you shot the body down, which was... He paused, searching for quite a shot. I was inspired by your confidence in me, Kim. I admit I wasn't sure whether I should give you the gun, but I'm glad I did. Your shot enabled us to perform a field autopsy on the victim. We found some things we can really work with. Moreover, you found the hanged man wasn't just hanged, he was also shot. That was some excellent detective work. And you managed to locate and pull out the bullet, so we can get ballistics make of the gun. All that is invaluable. It was the least I could, given all my past mistakes. The rest is up to the boys in processing. Maybe they'll surprise us by doing their job for once, but I wouldn't count on it. We also performed a thorough search of the crime scene. All in all, we handled the situation very professionally. Now for the interviews. In my 4-day online microscope, I understand how important communication is in our line of work. Yes, well, we've talked to some people. Not always the right people, I'm afraid. We weren't able to find the union leader, Everett Clare, much less interview him, so that's on the to-do list for tomorrow. We didn't talk to the Wild Pines rep, we really must do that tomorrow. Above all though, today was exhausting. What with all that running? You run a lot. It's standard... Is that a standard Precinct 41 practice? I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just wait until we get up tomorrow. Let's have a look. I don't like to waste time. My mind moves fast, so I have to try and keep up. He nods thoughtfully, tapping his finger at his cigarette. It's impressive, especially for a man of your age and in those heels. He looks at your snakeskin shoes and smiles. Nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange. So what are our powers exactly, the RCM? They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revolte Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offences in accordance with an interdepartmental schedule. 1,000? Why not more? The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We're not really supposed to play any part in the economic structure of Revolte. Wouldn't you say it's an easy power to abuse? Yes, although indirectly, as citizens could always request records from their local station. Officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. It undermines trust in the RCM. Okay, what else? We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing them someone in directly, it's preferable to serve a station call slip. It prevents confusion and overcrowding. How will you be sure they show up? You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they're eventually caught. It's about power projection. Thus far, they seem to mostly show up. I see, and someone resists. As you may have gathered from the fact that we're expected to carry record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks. We're permitted to use whatever force is necessary and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. What happens to the people we convict? We don't convict, we arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Coron and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. He taps his coat and pocket, where he keeps his notes. Wait, I kill someone while I'm on duty, you have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use lethal force. In these cases, your partner is usually your witness. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affair handles these cases thoroughly by cross-examining you for inconsistencies. It is hard to cover for anyone, which is for the best. And who makes all these rules? The coalition government and the Moralitern more broadly. The RCM was formed by the coalition government and restores order in international zone after the revolution. So we did. Now we attempt to maintain that order. No more, no less. His gaze absently fixed on the window below that just went dark. Or perhaps it's better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revolche or the coalition government founded the RCM. Say nothing. Silence. A great comment to such a conundrum. The Moralintern. What is it? The Moralists International are the world's largest political organization. He pulls on his cigarette. You know who they are. They run the place after the revolution failed. If I didn't know, how would you describe them? They're the union of centre-left and centre-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its many projects. They also run the ICP, EPIS, most intergovernmental organizations in the world. What do they believe in? What do they believe in? They are DeLoreans. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by her innocent Dolores de 4 centuries ago. Others say they're just technocrats. Rhetoric. Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores. What is their symbol? Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. The motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can gauge what they want you to think of them from that. Conceptualization. Something kind and usual. Logic. Something almost self-explanatory. Electrochemistry. Something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner. Perception. Something like the dark blue serious colour of the early night sky above. Who was Dolores Day? A historic figure, the author of the modern age, he thinks. You will have to look elsewhere for opinions. The subject of humanism is too abstract for me. What do you think of them? The Moralintern are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And, he looks at the city below, it doesn't look like that's about to happen. I have an opinion on the Moralintern, conclude. Do you? Lieutenant arches his brow and pulls a cigarette. It's a slim white thing in his fingers. Things are bad out there. We need them here, giving us the right to police Revolche. They've done an awful job here. Have you seen that place? This is in humanism. We are stooges of the world's biggest Bulgarians organization, protecting Bulgarians' rights. Immigrants, liberal kips, fucking men turning into women. On second thought, I don't have an opinion. This one. We're in what's called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come out of the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Yeah, vigilantes sound bad. He nods. Sadly, it's where we already are to the people of Martinez. Most of them, especially the Union, vigilantes. I expect our job here to prove quite challenging. Thank you for say nothing. The dying lights of the city shimmer below. Slowly, like luminous clouds, they pass on his lenses. Lieutenant looks at his slim cigarette, contemplating the next drag. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here. Visual calculus. An aerostatic passes overhead, the whiskers of its floodlights on the ground. Kitsuragi's glasses light up as he looks up at the sky, two glowing circles. Finally, he pulls on the cigarette and says, they really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid, Kuno. It's different inland, in Jamrock and the GRIH. Why are they like this? It's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. It's like I told you, this place is an orphan falling between the cracks. And in Jamrock and GRH, he looks at the dark signal at an equestrian monument cutting in the night sky and says, we run this city, west of the river RCM land. It's incredibly hard, human beings are. He shakes his head, but we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works, our systems work. If they don't, this city would disintegrate. I hope our investigation will help improve the situation, at least do some good. We won't change. We'll do. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetime. Perception. He's very tired. The dark circles under his eyes make him look younger, not older. Thank you. Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go. He puts a stub in that cigarette and looks at the door. Alright, we've gone up a level. Let's level up quickly. Like I said, we'll put one in each of these. Let's go. I'm not super keen on worrying too much about stealth at the moment, but it's only at 2. And the rest of these are quite high. Yeah, it's the lowest one out of all of them. We'll just level it up. Alright. Good night, Kim. I need to have a bath. Because I need to wash off the filth. Oh, here we go. It's not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now. Perception. Ah, that soap scum smell. It smells like life, at least compared to you. Run yourself a bath. The bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. Undress, close your eyes, and submerge. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting. An ammonic fluid. A few beer cans are bowing up and down along your flask legs. Take the beer cans out. Now you're alone with your thoughts in the tub, but it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub. They're not even really thoughts, just assorted sensations, none of them acute enough to focus on. Imagine something. You see the corpse, you can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of that stench. Conceptualization. Then, houses along a narrow street, a video rental, darkness on the planet's curvature. Linger in the tub a little. Your fingers grow pale, covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. Get out. Task complete. Good. The waterline recedes and you stand. You're cold now, your clothes stick to your still moist skin. Alright. I think it's bedtime. It's a gross bed. The sheets felt once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your eyes. And then sleep doesn't come. Why? Maybe it's the bed's fault. Roll over the other side. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phases still litter your mind. Part of you is still trying to solve the case, isn't it? Who killed him? Who? Something to do with, what was it in the lieutenant said? Union? And it's gone again. Your thoughts lost between the slowing brain waves. Fall asleep now. Your breathing steadies, a great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your sleep and images start forming. Dream sequence? Yeah. The disco ball.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood?
I remember
Do
nothing.
you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and in her mouth?
Tell me, what is this? I'm not answering before you tell me who you are.
You know who I am. I'm the bad day. The one where you ask her, and then later in the streets wandering. It's the worst day of all time, Harry dear. And it's coming. She will hear about it on the phone. Reality will turn into a grotesque nightmare. This'll be the last thing you did to her. Tell me, do you remember the love of your life?
I left, I was left. I feel like he would be left.
That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. One hand on the bottle, and the other on your dick. Watching her go. Let it all be dragged away from you. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours?
I can get it all back.
No, it's gone. 3 times gone, and never coming back. You failed. You failed me. You failed Elysium.
What's Elysium?
Everything. The pale and the Isolas on the surface, the outer magnetosphere, burning furious truth. 8,000 years of written history. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you failed every single one of them. You really fucked up.
I've talked to you before.
No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. That's all you ever do, even in your dreams. And the act is wearing thin. The spots on the disco ball fade around you. You'll be back in those cold snakeskins in no time, sweating up the bed.
Stinky boy.
You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping into things and acting like a clown. Who are you kidding?
Trying to solve this
You're
case.
trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you. A thin, sleep-like state. More glass than velvet, grinding in your head.
Something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad. This dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new type of hangover.
What? No?
Oh yes, party boy. And it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to get those clothes on, Harry. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
What can I say? Really? Electric, good going, buddy. What the hell is that? I just had the most beautiful dream, uplifting, rejuvenating. Is this how it's going to be now when I close my eyes? Yes, wait till you see the one with the chick in it. It's going to be a good one. You feel even worse in the morning than what the hell's going on with me. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? Is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detective needs to be able to think. Why is this happening? Just that your heart has finally pumped all the speed out of your system, Buster. Time to get some more. Volition. Failure. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. No, I can't take this. I'm not going to go looking for speed. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days, basically a week? Let's be honest, 2 weeks, maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You'll be fired. That's a lie. I can do this without speed. Half the town won't be dead. Suit yourself, slow, sad shellman. See how you do without your spark. Okay. Well, what can I say? This game it's got everything, doesn't it? I think we'll wrap it up there for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Again, any advice, any comments, please let me know. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you next time.